Good morning. It's about 10 o'clock and we are underway. And as you probably can tell from the previous clips, it is quite foggy out here this morning. We got off to a late start, mostly because, as is usually the case, early in the morning there just is no wind. So we waited a little while until there was some wind. It's pretty fluky at the moment. Actually, we're just ghosting along, but the Maine is half reefed because as we were leaving the Merchants Island Cove, it seemed pretty strong. So, and it's easy to reef the jib, but it's a pain to reef the Maine, or at least more difficult. Lobster boat out there somewhere. So anyway, we've rounded the western end of Merchant Island and have a course to the east in Merchant's Row. And now the wind has just picked up. We're not in a hurry, so but the forecast is 5 to 10 wind gusts to 20, so we're expecting wind all day, and I'm not sure about the fog. It can be very pleasant. Anyway, I'll keep you posted as the day progresses. Away from the lee of Merchant Island, conditions are a little bit different. So there's definitely quite a bit of wind out here. We're pretty heavily reefed. We don't really need to be, but it's more comfortable this way. We're doing 3.5 to 4 knots, and things are a little choppy. So we're still going east. We're coming up on a waypoint that'll take us northeast across Jericho Bay and over to York Narrows and Swans Island. Not going to see much, I guess. it's a bit after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are anchored in Seal Cove on Swans Island. I'd give you a look around, but there's nothing to see but fog. So maybe later, I don't know. And part of that uncertainty explains why we're here to an extent. I had been planning on going further, sailing for another few hours, but it didn't seem to be that the weather was going to be improving any. There was no trend in that direction. And I was a little bit cold and wasn't having that much fun. So I decided to cut the day a little short. We were going right by here, literally. And we'll spend the day peacefully doing something here in the cabin. Another reason that was behind the decision to come here is that this is quite well protected, especially from the south, which is where the winds are coming from at the moment, whereas the place I had in mind is significantly less well protected. So, you know, another factor in the decision-making process. So sorry it was a short day. We will at least do the chart at some point. But there won't be any more sailing. So it's now about 3 o'clock. Almost time for my afternoon beer. Well, I thought I'd take care of some of my obligations to you. The viewer, before that, unfortunately, it's still incredibly foggy out there. I basically can just make out a bit of shore in one direction, but even though I'm completely surrounded by land, I can't see it in any other direction. So a visual tour of the cove is not on the cards, but we will do the chart. So here is Merchant Island, and that little cove we were in. So I'm thinking that is a keeper. We will go back there. It's a little shallower than I thought. There was about 6 feet of water at low tide where I was, but that's more than enough. So we came out this morning and went around the west end of Merchant Island up to this area known as Merchant Row, and then came east out to a buoy here, and then northeast across Jericho Bay. And we were going to keep going up and off the chart up here at York Passage to pass north of Swans Island. But I decided to duck into a cove here on the west side of Swans Island. And we'll go to another page to get a better look at that. So here is the entirety of Swans Island. And this is the cove we're in here, which is called Seal Cove, not to be confused with Seal Bay over on Vinyl Haven. And I'm not sure how well this is coming out. You may be noticing there's lots of rocks in here. But there is one spot down here in the end. The number 5 appears there, if that shows up, which is pretty accurate. So there's about 5 feet here at low tide. And there's just enough room between the rocks to swing at anchor here. So I've been here many times. It's one of my favorites, mostly because all the rocks apparently scare most other people away. Here, where we intended to go, where the plan was when I left Merchant Island this morning, was to go through York Passage here and up to Casco Passage, and then around into this harbor in the Opachee, I think might be pronounced Opachee Islands. But this is pretty open, and at the time the wind was building, so I was concerned about that, and also I was tired of dealing with fog and cold weather and that kind of thing. At least it wasn't raining, right? So we decided for Seal Bay instead. So when I came in here to Seal Cove, the wind was blowing, pretty hard. The forecast was for gusts to 20. I'm guessing we were having a pretty constant 10 to 15 knots. But it has tapered off. It's now, there's hardly any wind at all, actually. So we're in for a calm night, hopefully, and that's much to be preferred.